Get in here, get in here. It's time to get into the verdict. Well, partially.
It looks like Diddy is a goner. I saw the body language. I saw the way they're looking at Diddy. It looks like he is guilty out of 4 of the 5. What's the one count they can't decide on? The RICO. I'm going to tell you everything.
I'm going to be at the courtroom because y'all need me to be at this courtroom. So I was there because you know, Pearl was over there arguing with Bertha. So you know
Get in here, get in here. It's time to get into the verdict. Well, partially. We are here in New York. It's been a crazy, hot, rainy day. We've been on verdict watch for 2 days. The racketeering conspiracy is deadlocked. The racketeering conspiracy has to prove that Diddy and a member of his enterprise co-conspired these crimes. This is why the prosecution zeroed in so hard on KK, because they were painting her as a co-conspirator, but they had backup. They had KK as the #1 co, D-Rock, and or Fahim. All you need is one, but if you're feeling real freaky, you can use all 3. And to me, I think they did a great job by proving that KK was in on the deal. I mean, she had the niggas' phones. All the stuff that was confiscated was off of KK's person. She knew what was going on. This is why I can't play games with people and act like they don't know what's going on. You're in the camp, you know what's going on. The nigga don't even breathe without calling for an assistant, because that's how arrogant he is. That's how cocky he is. He's the type of person who want to let you know he has the power and you're working for him. Let's be clear. He ain't that private and coy where, well, I'm doing a little freak off, let me do what I'm on. No. My assistant's going to handle this. KK, do that. No. He's flashy with it. Set the tin up. Get the room going and make sure it's extra oil. And if it ain't enough oil, you fired. Where's the Astroglide? Set up the kiddie pool and fill it up with baby oil at the La Mertage Hotel. What motherfucker gonna have what nigga in a right mind gets a kiddie pool at the hotel filled with baby oil and Astroglide, and you gonna tell me don't nobody know that shit going on? Oh, he did it? Oh, somebody gonna say the assistants did it. You think he was talking to the assistants? It was at a point where he wasn't even meeting them. KK was the one she was the boss to the assistants. So he would tell her, and then she would delegate the small tasks to the rest of the crew. Are you crazy? I'm not gonna play with you guys today. Now, we don't know what the verdict is, but all of his attorneys came to him with a note, started surrounding him. Diddy then started looking down, wiping his face, rubbing his eyes, stressed, confused. He does not look like the confident Diddy that we've seen. And what was also interesting is the Nicole Westmoreland, you could see her consoling Teeny Garagos. So I'm not sure if they feel like they know what's going on, if they, if this is like, if they're feeling like they're losing it. They don't seem very, very confident in what the results are going to be. We'll be back for the verdict. I'll see you soon. Peace out.
It looks like Diddy is a goner. I saw the body language. I saw the way they're looking at Diddy. It looks like he is guilty out of 4 of the 5. What's the one count they can't decide on? The RICO. I'm going to tell you everything I saw, everything I have observed, Diddy's reactions, his family's reactions. But do we know if Diddy was found guilty on those 4 of the 5 acts? Of course not. We are not God, nor do we pretend to be. However, when it comes to that, let me tell you little clues that we saw. When they came back and said that they found 4 and 5 counts, it was like a bomb went off. When I say Diddy was the definition of depressed, was the definition of stress, the defense table was acting like this was nothing good. Janice Combs had to get up and walk out the courtroom. It looked like she was going to pass out. A family member jumped up and ran after her. Xavier went after her, and one of the family men went after her, okay? She didn't have an outburst, but she literally looked like she was using all her strength to walk out the courtroom and take a minute away from prying eyes. Again, Christian Combs came in. He had his head hung down in between his hands. His brothers were rubbing his chest. This does not look like a family that thought that they beat those charges on the 4 out of the 5. And let me tell y'all something, right? Even if the RICO is hung, even if they find there is no RICO, even if they find there's no RICO, guess what? It doesn't matter, because each of those offenses have a minimum of 10 or 20 years, and that's on the low end. There will be justice. Now, how much justice? We will have to see, but there will be justice. What else? Diddy was just sitting there. He had his hands folded, and he was just looking down at his hands. This did not look like a man that thought that he got a not guilty. He was sitting there, right? And he was looking, and this did not look like a man that thought he had the winning ticket. Quincy looked sad. The girls looked like they were about to cry. I really felt sorry for them. And in that minute, I'm like, this is so sad. And then I said, wait a second. Because at the end of the day, the only person that caused this, the only person behind this was Diddy. The jury came walking in, and they were walking in like, they were walking in looking guilty as a mug. They were walking in looking like people that knew that they just sentenced a man to jail, that he might actually die there. Again, maybe I'm reading too much into the body language, but the jury looked very, very, very guilty. Now, there is a chance that they already said Diddy is not guilty for 4 of the 5 charges, but judging by the way they all walked out, they had solemn expressions. They looked guilty. They would not look even in the defense's direction. They only went and they sat down, and they actually looked sad. That does not look like people that are going to send somebody home. We are locked in for a verdict, and it looks like the verdict is coming down tomorrow.
I'm going to be at the courtroom because y'all need me to be at this courtroom. So I was there because you know, Pearl was over there arguing with Bertha. So I was in the courtroom last week, right? They were high-fiving. Everybody seemed in good spirits, especially Mark and especially Brian. They thought that they had this in the bag. I'm telling you. I would not be surprised if they all went out for drinks. When you see Diddy for the first time get handed a note, it was crazy to see this man have the realization that I don't have this in the bag. All of the attorneys look stressed. Now, y'all know Bertha was sitting in that room unbothered. Now, we don't know yet if Bertha was the holdout. And then Pearl must have been across the room like, I ain't moving. So what you want to do? It was a stalemate for count 1, which is the biggest count, guys. They are over all of the freak nastiness, y'all. Literally, they are over it. So it was no surprise when there starts to be like some energy in the room, because I felt like these people were not going to want to be here through 4th of July. So Diddy has the note. We're all like, this can't be good, because does he have the bubble guts? What is going on that his head is down? We know that they have not encircled him praying. I highly doubt that these are the prayerful people. So what is going on? What is this that we are witnessing? Big Kim, Mama Janice. I had already heard that Mark and Brian Steele had gone to comfort her throughout the day. They thought that this man was going to get acquitted. And when they saw that they did not have it in the bag, you could see it over all of their faces. Mark was pacing. I'm sure he had some Imodium AD. I'm sure somebody passed some Pepto-Bismol to Diddy, some blood pressure pills. It was insane to see. It was like juxtaposing how I viewed them on Thursday and Friday when they were basically high-fiving. And I was told that some people will be getting some bonuses this year. To see them there like that was crazy. So they come in and they say, we have reached a verdict. They reached the verdict for everything, 2, 3, 4, and 5 minus count 1. And count 1 is the biggest count. So everybody now is like, what is going on? Because it's like almost 5 o'clock and they've only deliberated like a day and a half. Comey is frantic. Mark is especially frantic. And Diddy is like this. Everybody is freaking out. It was so much energy in that courtroom.